My name is Dallas.
My name is Joe.
And my name is Sam.
And we do stuff! How's it going, guys?
It's going good.
Yeah, good.
Real quick, Dallas.
It makes me so uncomfortable even to this day. Thank you, guys.
It makes my dick hard.
Yeah, mine's hard too.
And I'm going to leave now.
Bye, Sam.
I'm going to head out.
All right, I'm going to head out. Well, today we're doing our second edition of our trio of movie reviews. We each picked a movie and decided that we would make each other watch it. Today, we're doing my choice. I chose the 2021 film directed by Sam Levinson. It stars Zendaya and John David Washington, Malcolm and Marie. It's an interesting movie. It was the first movie to be filmed during COVID. Sam Levinson is the same person who directs Euphoria that stars Zendaya, and they talked and they're like, "Hey, we want to do something." So they just kind of got a really small crew together, went to this house, and wrote this story and filmed it. So it's pretty interesting. It's very a closed-in, kind of a tight relationship-y kind of story. It's very interesting. It's very uncomfortable. It starts out as a couple. John David Washington's character, Malcolm, they both get back from a showing of his movie. And you can see there's kind of some animosity or tension, and it just boils up. And it's literally them arguing the whole entire time. It's just them nagging and talking shit to each other back and forth. Escalates and escalates and escalates with not too much of a closure at the end. A little bit, but not really. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That movie, I am going to have to say, made me feel very uncomfortable at times. It made me feel like when I'm hanging out with someone and it's a couple and they're fighting the whole time. And when it was over, I felt kind of bad. But at the same time, I have ate mac and cheese and yelled at women. But take that part aside, this movie though, I have to watch it. I when I was watching it, it felt more like I was watching a film student movie. Like they have you watch, or it would be like a movie that they would show therapists in college that want to be psychologists or marriage counselors to understand stuff.
Yes,
a very horrible. It's a very toxic relationship.
Toxic as fuck. Very toxic.
I would have been pissed though if I saw it in the movie theaters.
I know, but I mean, it's kind of justified, and that's how like most fights start out. So instead of coming with a resolution, they just kept both like nitpicking at each other. I feel like somebody should have conceded, and that's how all fights end: is somebody concedes and nobody conceded.
Yes,
nobody like gave a little headway, which is actually harder to do than winning a fight. You know what I mean? And you've seen that was a constant theme. And yes, I agree with Joe. It was very much something they'd show in like a half-ass college for a bunch of hippies. You know what I mean? To try to get them to like understand how constant, you know what I mean, confrontation rather than, you know what I mean, resolution and what happens. It was loosely based on a true story.
Yeah,
really?
I did look that up.
A lot of people's true story. The directors.
I always like to see if movies are based on a true story.
The director was like, before I get Me Too'd, I want everyone to know both halves.
Yeah.
Well, no, because like even Joe's story, you know, I know it coming from Guy Ritchie, which is, you know, in that realm of people. I want to know if his was based on a true story, because, you know, that says something about the movie. Like if it's loosely based on something, it was. I can't remember who it was. You can look it up afterwards, but it was based on. Was he a director?
Who?
The guy, the main.
Yes.
So it was based on a director and the star.
Okay.
So how much it, you know what I mean, happened? I think maybe somebody saw somebody get mad after a premiere and literally went fucking off on a tangent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So like the basis of the film is they come back from his film premiere. Everyone loved it, and she's kind of mad, and it basically turns out he did not thank her when he thanked everyone. He thanked a million people, and this movie is basically based on her. He states that it has elements from other people in very toxic relationships that he was in. He likes flawed people and hurt people, and to me it seems as if he doesn't see them as equal, and it's probably why he never thanked her. But that's another thing.
Yeah. Well, there's one thing that kept sticking in my head that got me. What was his name again? John Washington is his name?
Yes, John David Washington.
That's Denzel Washington's son.
Yes.
Now, I kept hearing his father.
Yes,
he sounds
the
just
voice.
like him. The only thing I have to say though, I don't think he'll ever be on the same level as his father. I think he's there's too much of resemblance. Like not even the face, but the voice and the phrasing and everything. Mm-hmm. He sounds just like his father, which threw me off because if I looked away from the TV a few times and I was like, wow, this is like a Denzel movie. Yeah. Why is he being so mean, Denzel?
I'll say it's he has the potential to be on the same level.
He does. He's more docile than his father is. His father could, like, I could see him being like, he'd be fast talking and everything. I see him more as like he could do very good in like drama roles and stuff.
Yes,
but I couldn't really see him really being as like a main action guy. Really.
Well, have you seen Tenet?
No, not yet.
Okay, well, it's definitely an action role, but he is very much a kind of like a Bond like person in that movie. Well, so he's more suave.
He's more suave, but what I mean, like his father is more of a range actor. He could do anything just about. Like I couldn't see his son in Training Day.
Both actors of their time.
Yeah. His son, I couldn't see in Training Day.
He's doing what he thinks needs to be done during this time. As for Denzel, I mean, you have to think Denzel did fucking Training Day. That was all fucking drama.
Completely.
I mean, there was a little bit of action here and there, but Training Day was like all dialogue, all fucking drama.
But then again, he is fairly new to the scene, though, so he can, as time goes on, I know he has the best advice he can get.
But he's coming out in the worst fucking time.
Zendaya, though,
think about it.
She looks. If you watch the last Spider-Man
movies,
if you watch the last Spider-Man movie, Zendaya now, she looked like she's a full-grown adult in this. The part 2 where he's biting on her butt and his face is buried in her, and I'm thinking, oh my god, Tom Holland's crying right now.
Yeah,
how did you do that to Peter Parker?
It was a little bit kind of because you can tell that there's an age difference between the two in the movie. And
he's
she
our
just
age.
Looks really young, and they kind of put her in like an older looking dress. They put her in makeup. They pull her hair back. They put her in like a bathtub scene. You know, they make her seem older. She's still that kid from Spider-Man. Like, she still looks like a 15-year-old girl to me, so I was kind of creeped out a little bit.
To me, she didn't even look like the girl from Spider-Man. It was just like, and her, I'm excited to see what her career brings.
Did that too.
I'm excited to see what her career brings, and I think actually, in a way, out of
when she matures,
both of them, I think that she is more natural. I think she's a really good actress.
Yeah.
She didn't mind saying fuck a whole lot, did she?
Well, if you watch Euphoria, you wouldn't be surprised whatsoever. It's the character is more on line with her character there, but it's still so far different.
The way things have flipped, though, if this movie was made a long time ago, they had their own version of cancel culture. They might have fired her back then for doing something like that, and it'd be like Marvel would be like, oh, I don't know, it'll upset Christians and you know what I mean, and families.
I know, but it's real shit that people do. Like, there's people that still, like, they think that's a real relationship. That was also another thing that the movie, like, was pointing out.
That is a very real relationship. To watch it,
there was a few things
and that many people don't know any better.
There was a few times that I did watch it. I mean, it was completely different than when I was married. But it was that toxic relationship where I was watching it, and it was like, I mean, again, the movie did its purpose. It left me with a feeling that I didn't like. And again, that's the magic of acting in movies, which they hit perfectly, but that is such an uncomfortable fucking movie.
Very uncomfortable.
To watch. That's a movie that you watch once for the experience, and that's it. You know? Even if you look up the reviews, which I did on it, they're half mixed where because everyone with that, not all movies leave you with a happy, good feeling.
Yeah, no.
It's like music.
Yeah. It's very...
The black and white added to the emotion.
The black and white, and I love the soundtrack a whole lot.
The black and white took away from a lot of the
they should threw Big Ben in that.
it took away from the empathy you feel for the character because when you see color, you associate feelings for some reason because they do shit like that in fucking Disney, and you associate feelings. So when they take that away, you automatically detach from both of these people, so you're supposed to feel uncomfortable.
It makes everything seem more black and white, literally.
That's why people, when things were black and white, they had to overact because they had to make you forget completely that there was, you know what I mean? Like, when you take away color, it does something to the audience. And it's definitely, like, showed, like, you know, true in this movie.
It is, and when you watch it, I'm sure when they first got together, they were both pieces of shit, and when you both understood why they both did. You know, like, they're pieces of shit to each other. It doesn't mean they were bad people, which some people now get confused nowadays, but and they needed to get away from each other.
It was exactly like WandaVision. Just kidding.
Now, I want to do a mix where it's your movie and Bad Ben, right? But while he's trying to haunt the house, they're arguing the whole time, and you see like things moving, and they don't care because they're just yelling at each other when he's eating mac and cheese. You know, while he's eating mac and cheese, cereal box
they
falls.
kept doing normal shit like while fucking they were like arguing.
I'm 100%.
Where's the resolution? Like, you kept wanting a resolution.
There's no resolution. It feels like
there's a film school movie.
Yeah, I've been in relationships just like this, where like
without all the money.
yeah, except for I didn't just make a film, but I'm working on it. I didn't make a film, huh?
Did you ever save that TV?
No, no, it's gone.
Can fix it.
No, I love that TV, but they said things to each other where, like, in normal people, you can't take that shit back. Mm-hmm. And you didn't realize what they were saying until they divulged more information. Mm-hmm. Like, you cut deep with some of this stuff.
And you got deep on her for fucking other people and this and that.
Some people like that.
Yes.
Some people linger on that.
Now, I'm starting to think that's probably a lot of Hollywood relationships because it's a higher scale. I mean, there's more risk of someone cheating on you.
If you're acting all the time, you kind of have to go to, like, the next fucking level in order to feel anything. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That movie, I couldn't even eat a snack to watch. I would just watch that where I was just...
Yeah, it was it was a half a bottle of water at best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when I
fucking drunk.
Now, this movie I would tell people to watch if you're someone who watches movies because you want to see acting and you care about directing and stuff like that. That should be the kind of movie for you to watch.
Very much like a drama.
It's a classic. Mm-hmm. It's a classic confrontation movie. That's two people. It's been done before.
Not on that scale, I don't think.
No. But I'm saying the idea of this film has been done before. Just like you know what I mean. Your film, the idea has been done before. My standalone film, the idea has been done before. But I'm saying like it was something that was executed not in a while though. Like you have to think like a movie like that hasn't been put out in a while. And it was kind of smart to do something like that during quarantine because then they wouldn't get the backlash.
It's almost like
you put me in harm's way with all these actors.
You could have almost seen when Woody Allen would do serious movies. You could see him doing something similar like that.
He loves
that. Yeah, I could totally see that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could totally see him doing something like that. They both emoted all their emotions, the anger and like disgust and like sadness.
And now I'm wondering while they're filming this as actors and they are getting serious into this, I wonder if they during that time, as soon as they said cut, did they stay away from each other? Did they have like little resentment?
They had to stay away from each other.
He probably won't see the next Spider-Man. Guarantee he won't see Spider-Man.
There was no way that they can fucking like go and hang out offset and then fucking go like dude. There was no way. They had to fucking come at each other like this is this motherfucker.
No, they all stayed there and filmed it. Yeah, they took a small crew. And
she's gonna make so much mac and cheese.
I guess to keep in character though, to stay around him. So that means you hated him 24/7.
I think that's even worse. They are just good actors.
Wonder if they.
But it's hard to.
It's hard to incite that kind of scene, like
that feeling.
You have to like run around and like get yourself worked up. Like you can't just fucking go from 0 to 100. Not everybody's Joe. No. You know.
They did it. They did it. It was really.
Do you think that they were method acting? A little bit of the sauce.
Well,
because that helps people incite. You know what I mean? Like shit immediately.
I think they
probably was the way they filmed it.
Totally method acting, and it went on different levels because
do you think they had hangovers every day?
No.
When they were done, they go back to their boyfriends, girlfriends, or spouses, or whatever. Do you think during that period they just treated them like shit?
No, they probably went up to him and like hugged him and
yes, they reevaluated.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm. They reevaluated.
That's what honestly, like when I watched it, that's how I felt when I was watching it. I was just reevaluating how important it is. Like, how important is it that you say these nasty, horrible things that don't even make you feel better? Now you feel even worse. You don't know it yet because you're still mad.
But that relationship there, though, that was past the point of no return. That was people too long together.
In a way, it is. It's people who clearly should not be together, but
it's people who clearly should not be with anybody.
They shouldn't be with anyone, but they still care about each other on some level where they're still. Like we will still be with each
history,
other,
and they're like, you know what I mean. Like that's like the couple that sleeps in different rooms.
This is just how this is how these people care.
Yeah,
they don't know how to care about any. They don't in that dynamic because that's where they're at. They can't see anything outside of it. They were literally blinded by just what they had, and they can't see it, and you can't see it when you're in it.
And even when you're an actor, it's got to be a little bit difficult when your wife or your husband has a sex scene in a movie. There has to be a little bit of a part where you do worry. Even though you're in Hollywood and you're used to it, but there is probably a little bit of worry, like when Jada Pinkett Smith and what's his name? Mark Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
And they did that TV show, and their passionate scene looked real. And then there was reports that Will Smith was upset with. Whoa, you really acted really good in that one, and you're still hanging out with the guy afterwards?
Well, that's the difference. If you can act good, but then you're still hanging out with them, then something happens.
I wouldn't be, it's just me because I have no heart. But you could go doing whatever you want. But if you decide to leave me because you want to do that, well then, bye. Whatever. That's me. I don't care.
I'm going to ruin your fucking career, but yeah, go ahead.
You know.
Joe will scratch all the cars that you don't even own.
Just random ones in Walmart.
Today in New York, cunt was written across every single car.
I know one of these cars are his.
It was really dark. It was really dark. And she was like a recovering addict, and he did not appreciate her. You went back and forth because at first I was like, he's a piece of shit. But then she started saying shit. I'm like, well, fuck her. And then at the end of the day, I sided with her more than him. At the end of the day, but they're both pieces of shit.
In the most part, yeah. Like, especially because she's doing certain things, he could have stepped up a little bit and tried also.
Her
he's so interested into his own career, which I think happens with a lot of people. They get so invested in their own career.
Her expectations made her a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Because as a woman, and this is something you only learn either through
cutting off your dick and being a woman.
Yes.
When watching the movie, I have noticed that, like I was just saying to you when we were on break, get a better makeup on, for the lighting, gotta get moisture off my head.
Still there.
Yeah, no, this is added.
Actually, there's dirt lines. I can see dirt hiding in one of your fucking lines.
What the fuck? Why?
Like several, actually.
Why? I shouldn't have rubbed this against my forehead.
Whoa! Oh my god!
No, she's lying. Don't listen to her.
It's just for men. I won't make this by
We have a
accident.
better camera now.
I won't make this by accident.
Well, then you fucked up.
Hey, round or whatever. So the thing is, I could also see that toxic couple being when they're in public, being happy, putting on an act.
Yes.
But the thing is, with her too, she did something with her acting that I like. You could tell she had that look like there's no one to help. Like she had that look of a drug addict. She did like a recovering where she was in her own world and he was more interested in himself. You know what I mean? And that's
what she could do for him.
Just like even that scene, it disgusted me when he was eating
all
it.
The
He just like
things from each side that you would hope they would never.
And also, he's eating like a slob too because he's mad. He's just like, let me tell you something else. You know what I mean? And it was like,
that's how his dad eats.
Oh God!
That's how Denzel eats.
But he eats it when he's happy. Okay, that's how he eats when he's happy. Listen to him with Denzel. He has a little bit of a droopy face. Anyway, just gonna say though, that Denzel got one more ladies than his son did.
I don't think so.
Can we thank our Patreons now? God damn it. Joe just wants to compare fucking Denzel to his son.
Wait, we got to give it a rating, but first,
I'm saying Denzel. She's thinking Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, no.
God damn it!
I would, if you're into like, it is a very artsy film, 100%. It's not a film for everyone in any way, shape, or form. But if you like the artsy, very character driven, because there's only two people in the film.
If you don't like pina coladas or getting caught in the rain,
or if you were in a violent relationship and you miss it, watch this movie.
Not violent, or
not violent,
verbally abusive.
Mentally, verbally,
yes.
Yeah, which is worse than being beaten.
Worse.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I mean, he should have hit her.
Punch Sam before you say the word "fuck you." She'll be happier.
She was lost in that relationship. She lost herself in that relationship. Really, it was sad. But Sam, 1 out of 10 stars. Where do you give it?
God, Jesus, a solid 3. Left me fucking a little depressed, and I hate black and white, and I was a little bored. Just hearing people carry on. If I wanted to hear two people carry on in black and white, I would have been born a dog and lived with my parents.
I mean, I will give it to the movie. There was drawn out parts, but it was just that could have been part of the art of it.
Yes,
I think it would have did better as a short.
Short. It felt like
it's like a 45-minute short, not a fucking 2-hour fucking movie.
I see what you mean. There, but this was like
they didn't assume that the audience was smart enough to catch on to a lot of things, so I feel like they had to explain a lot of things, and that was kind of annoying.
I didn't get that feeling.
Like at the beginning, I feel like they gave it too much of an introduction.
Well, the cool. Actually, one more thing I want to give that actually is cool when I think about it. You got both of their stories just from them arguing.
Yes,
and you learned a whole.
It was a natural exposition.
So that was cool, but the guy who wrote that, don't want to date that guy.
Well, no, that's the thing. They could have explained so much. Like, you have to understand, when you're reading a script and when you're saying it, it's obviously faster when you say it. It's not as long as the script is making it appear. And I feel like if they would have just kept that going, a much more faster pace, instead of a lot drawn out, you know what I mean, scenes here and there, of doing this to do that. Like, if they would have cut to a scene of them yelling and then to them fucking, I would have been like, sweet, I totally know what's going on.
Oh, and I did like it because they didn't go.
That's not as
and they didn't.
It's supposed
and I like
to have
it
a more
because they didn't
natural
go
feel.
to that gender route to show that men are. They didn't try to do a message in it, which was good. Which is, hey, these three people are pieces of shit.
No, it was exactly like It was an old school fucking movie with two fucking people that had no 21st century fucking messages.
Two people fighting, and
it had quite a few messages. It was also kind of about...
But no 21st century.
It was also a little bit about Hollywood in a way also.
There's definitely, yes. Yeah. But they left it loose enough to where you wouldn't be able to...
It must be hard to be married.
Like, saying, I see
It must be hard to be married to somebody in Hollywood where they're also your competition in a way.
Mm-hmm. So what would you rate it, Joe?
Me? It would be a far lower rating if I just looked at it for face value. But when you make all the connections and everything with it, I'm going to actually give it, and I'll tell you why I'm going to go with this rating.
Hurry up.
Taking away the acting, just looking away what they did, and I know why they did black and white because it added to that emotion and it makes the viewer feel a certain way. So I'm going to actually, in the way with the whole backstory, I'm going to give it a 7.58.
I'm gonna give it an 8. Yeah, that's it's really good. It's not like amazing, but for the story and what they did with it, it's really
now, again,
good. It's
I did not enjoy watching it because it was painful, but at the same time, then you start thinking, wow, this is what they wanted to happen.
Joe's like, somebody out there likes this shit.
I literally...
after I jerked off, I was bored.
Right?
Yeah.
The first fucking 2 seconds, I was like, what the fuck do I do now?
Yeah.
I literally, because they really didn't start arguing until about halfway through it. That's where they started going for the jugular.
That's when it was a theme.
I was like, but it's not just a theme, it's the escalation. And I've been in relationships like that. It's not just, fuck you, fuck your eyebrows or something. You build up to shit. You like start saying crazier shit and crazier shit.
I know.
It doesn't just go there. That's what I liked about it. It was very real. I give it 8.
Thank you, Kamara. Thank you, Unsupervised Podcast.
Thank you, No Nonsense Trivia.
Yes! Do we win now? We win? Fuck yeah.
Sam, you don't win.
We remembered. I watched movies. I got a new phone.
Sam watched 2 movies.
We're letting you keep this phone for watching those movies.
I know, right? If you guys want to find us, you can find us on Facebook at We Do Stuff Podcast and on Twitter at We Do Stuff Pod. If you want to find me personally, you can find me on Twitter at Dallas Renard and on Instagram at Dallas Renard. Stop laughing at me, Sam.
Sorry.
And if you want to see me, you can find me at home by myself reenacting that movie I just saw at Joseph Rico 2.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to find me, I'm in Instagram. It's called Not Even a Little Nice, and that's what I am.
But
she's a sweetheart.
Yeah, she's not a fucking sweetheart. But did you guys see this movie? Or do you plan on seeing it? Let us know your thoughts. Like, subscribe. What is the other stuff you're supposed to say, Sam?
Click
like.
On me.
If you could do us a favor, grab that like button.
Grab it hard.
Yeah.
We did stuff.
We did it.
We did stuff. We verbally abused stuff.
We verbally abused each other.